Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Welcome to New Life Live. This is Dr. Alice Benton, and I am here with Becky Brown, and it is such a pleasure to have you tune in with us today. Becky will be joining us shortly. As you think about whether or not to call in, I want you to consider if you have been struggling with such a strong emotion that it's hard for you to complete your daily tasks, to engage with other people, and even to take care of your own body. Some of the signs that we are overwhelmed with an emotion that needs more attention can be foggy brain, where you just don't feel like you're able to hear and connect well with other people. Maybe you even find yourself, your mind is wandering during conversations and you're not quite sure what other people are saying to you. Perhaps you find that you can't motivate yourself to get the normal things done in a day. The laundry's piling up. It's difficult to even get to the grocery store. It's hard to manage parenting in the way that you wish you would. Or that body self-care I alluded to before. Maybe you're waking up at 2 a.m., worrying, overwhelmed, and you can't get back to sleep. We see that when people are depressed or strongly anxious, even things like taking care of hygiene can become almost impossible. It might be hard to shower. It might be hard to brush your teeth. All of these are signs that something is going on the inside that needs more attention. It's strange how powerful it is just to talk about what you're feeling and what you're going through. But what we know is that when you are having these symptoms that I am describing to you and you don't talk about them, which is the norm, most of us isolate and we act like we're doing better than we really are on the inside. Well, that's when a part of the brain called the amygdala stays very lit up. That's really the emotional center of the brain. And when you're acting out of that area, we usually do and say things that we later regret because we're driven by emotion. But if you're struggling with strong anxiety or strong depression, those emotions can then dictate your actions. And that is not a life well lived. It's not a healthy life. It's not usually a fulfilling life. And simply by talking about what you are going through, that activity in the brain moves into the prefrontal cortex. And when we just talk to a kind and interested listener about what we're going through, the brain then is able to think more clearly and problem solve. It's why therapy works, because talking about what we're going through really helps us to take that next step forward and then to get clarity about what am I suffering from and how can I move through it. The Bible says that there really isn't any new problem under the sun, because what you're tempted by, what you're struggling through, it is common to mankind. And it's why we get so many of the similar calls on the show, because the problems that we go through are common to all of us. And so if you have been experiencing any of these things I've been describing, I want you to call in so that we can help you with these issues. We've got resources, we've got a network of counselors, and we can get you connected and we can get you to that safe person who will be able to hear you out and help you through it. So that's 1-800-229-3000. We are going to be talking to Rain, who's calling us from Dover, Delaware, when we come back from the break. So Rain, hang on. Virginia will be getting to you as well. We are looking forward to taking your calls. And so any of these things that I have described, we have resources for you, even just on the New Life website. There are so many things that you can choose from to help you take that next step forward. We're so glad you're listening, and we'll be right back with you after the break.
Nobody gets married thinking that they're going to get divorced, yet there are so many people that experience divorce. How do we get through it? It can feel like it's the end of your story, but we also know that life goes on. So how do we get the healing that we need?
The Moving Forward Hope After Divorce webinar is Thursday evening, October 16th.
The live session will offer recovery tips like how to process grief in a healthy biblical way, practical steps for emotional healing after divorce, how to set healthy boundaries. This session is for anyone who's separated, divorced, or still navigating the long-term impact of divorce. Maybe you've been divorced for many years and you're still holding on to that resentment.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com.
It's not information, it's an invitation to heal, to hope, to rebuild, to trust that God has more for your story.
Start your new chapter today. 1-800-NEW-LIFE, 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Alice is not alone. We are fully together, and we believe in the power of connection. And so I'm so glad that you're so brilliant, Alice, that you can just, lead us off with some intelligent thoughts and to get us thinking in the right direction. And I appreciate all that you do. We are going to go to Rain, who's calling us from Dover, listens on WFIL. Hi, Rain. Thanks for calling today. How can we help you?
Hi. I am calling. My situation is I'm recently divorced after 2 months or 38 years of marriage. And I'm living in the home with my ex and his parents that are elderly and disabled. And I don't have transportation. I have nowhere else to go at the moment. And I'm just kind of stuck and trying to figure out how do I get myself out of this situation where I'm feeling like I'm lost. And I know that there's life ahead. I know that there's something good for me. I'm just feeling like when I'm trying to make one step, I seem to get fear somehow and afraid to make the necessary move. And my ex-husband, he brings the girls to the home while I'm here.
Oh.
That's kind of hard. He does it, he's like, this is my house, you need to get out, yada, yada. And it just makes me feel like I'm nothing, although I know I'm everything, a child of God.
Right.
But he's a narcissist.
Rain,
yeah.
Let me ask you a question, though, and Alice will ask you this, too, because we always ask this. Who are your friends? Who are your resources? Okay. This isn't a good situation for you, and so let's talk about who do you have that's on your team?
Okay. Well, I do have family and friends that live like maybe 2 hours away, family. But because I stayed in the marriage so long, they don't really want anything to do with me because they feel like I did whatever. I do have a friend. She's just lost her husband maybe a few years ago, and she also has her son, who's 40-something years old, that lives in her home with her, and 3 teenage autistic children. She's offered that I could come and stay with her, but the doesn't feel right, although it is a place to go. She does have a small bedroom for me, but she's dealing with her own issues, and it's a place to go. I should not complain. It's a place to go, but I don't feel good about going there, although I could be a help to her as well, and she to me. I have applied for places. I've applied for senior citizen homes. I've applied for different apartments. So I'm on a list for places to go to, but then I get this fear. Like I'm all packed up, ready to go to my friend's house, but I'm just fearful. I could have been there like a month or so ago, but I just didn't go.
Well, but here's the thing, Rain. I don't want you to go against what that feeling is. You know what I mean? I want you to lean into, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like a good choice for me. I think that's this new Rain person that is developing. You need to pay attention to that. I think it's great that you've applied for other places as well. Are you part of a church community?
I am. I am. I do have a church family that I go to, and they are looking out for me as far as, like, I get counseling from my pastor when he's available, but there's not really much right now where people have places where I can go, unfortunately. The only, my girlfriend, my best friend for 50 years, is the only one that has a place, which I love her dearly, and I just don't know. I make, you know what I mean? I say I'm going to do things, and then I just kind of like procrastinate and then fall back and think too long and too hard.
Rain,
Well, but you've been through a lot though, Rain, so don't dismiss your decision-making ability right now. It's just, this is a crisis moment for you. So it makes sense that there's a lot of confusion. Alice.
Rain, are finances an issue?
They are, yes. I'm currently on Social Security. I lost my job 3 years ago. They went out of business, the parents. And I can find another job. I just need transportation as well, which I'm looking for that as well. I just have a lot. I feel heavy and loaded down, and I just don't know what move to make right now.
Rain, I'm wondering if you're feeling some symptoms of depression. And I don't know if you heard the opener, but can you relate to some of those things I was listing out?
Yes, all of them. I do feel depression, although to look at me, when I talk to people, I'm always smiling and trying to help people, but it's hidden deep inside when I get in bed at night and I wake up in the morning and I feel so overwhelmed that I don't know what to do, where to begin. I do get up and exercise and walk and cook and do whatever I got to do, but it's like.
But you're not in a safe environment, Rain. You're not in a safe environment.
You're really you're getting emotionally beat up on a regular basis by your husband parading these women, ex-husband parading these women in front of you. And so the trauma I think your body has experienced, and this is just how he's treating you post-divorce. I can imagine the problems that you went through while you were actually married to him. I mean, so much so that your family is upset with you that you stayed with him. So there must be so much to that story of what you have suffered. So your body might be in a semi-shutdown mode. Now, you can still take care of these daily things, but you're trapped in a very painful situation. And sometimes the pain that is familiar to us is what we stick with, even though it hurts. But the pain of the unknown of leaving can be terrifying. And maybe, I wonder if you have a codependency on your husband. I wonder if you don't know if you can function without him, even though it's so painful being with him. Does that fit?
Funny you say that, because I guess deep down I kind of do have some sort of, even though he really never really did anything for me. I guess it's just the fact that, I don't know. I can't really describe it. It's like he's a drug addict for one thing, and he's an alcoholic along with everything else. And, by me being in the home, he thinks that I should perform ex-wifely duties, which I'm like, no, are you crazy? No.
Meaning he still expects you to be sexually active with him.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, Rain.
And his
Rain,
his parents and his family, they don't really want me in the home. They want me out of the home also. He bought the home from the... Yes.
Rain, is the old friend that you mentioned, is she the one that has the children, or is this a separate person?
She's the one that has they're her autistic grandchildren that the mother dropped them off there 3 years ago. And they're very quiet, but it's just her home is very small, and they don't cause any trouble. It's not that they cause any trouble or anything, but she's got the death of her husband that she's dealing with, along with trying to care for these grandchildren. But yet she's offered me to come and stay with her as well. She has for a couple of years now. And,
but you don't feel comfortable with that. So you're in a very dangerous situation, though, the way that you're describing this. And here's an extreme suggestion, that you contact a women's violence support shelter in your area.
I agree.
They will help you walk through this. A lot of times women don't realize how much help is out there because of the vortex that the abusive relationship that they're in. And that's exactly where you're at right now. you've tried to break free, but without the resources, you're going to be stuck for a while. And I'm not suggesting you go to the friend, like I said before. Don't disrupt that thought that this might not be a good fit. But Rain, you really need to have the help where people know what services and what's available in your area. And I would suggest that you get in touch with a women's violence shelter or a domestic support in your area. You should be able to Google that. I don't know off the top of my head, but that's what I would suggest. Alice?
Well, there are such advancements in domestic violence shelters these days because some I've worked at, so many of them have all the different resources a woman would need to restart her life, especially a woman who has been physically or emotionally battered to the point that you believe that you're nothing. So, Rain, it would make sense that you don't have the energy to fight for yourself, even though you're doing so much, but you can't make yourself cut ties and leave because perhaps you've been enmeshed with an abuser for over 30 years. And a good shelter teaches women work skills, gets her the mental health help that she needs, the psychiatric help, because I think that's a big part of the problem.
Yeah.
I think having a medical evaluation for psychiatric medication to treat possibly depression and post-traumatic stress disorder might be part of what you need to be able to then make a good choice for yourself. There's also this idea called having a body double, and that's a person who knows you need to make a decision like leaving, but you can't do it yourself. And so another woman would be on the phone with you, or she'd come over and help you to walk through that decision because you cannot take those steps on your own. And at domestic violence shelters, they have such good advocates who know how to do this and know how to help break you out of that belief system you're stuck in.
I agree. Rain, we're going to give you a free ticket for our webinar tonight, Moving Forward, Hope After Divorce. It's tonight, it's online, it's 7 p.m. Central Time. But I want you also to get connected. I love what you just said, though, Alice, about the domestic violence. When you're not in that situation, you don't realize how much your mind gets confused about what your reality is. I recently talked to a woman who had a similar situation, and she said, when I just talked to them, I felt like I had been seen. So I wanted you to get connected that way too, Rain, but I hope you'll join us tonight at the Moving Forward Hope After Divorce. We're so sorry that this is what you're going through, but we know that there's hope that's going to be seen, and we'll be praying for you as well. Let's go back to the calls. We're going to talk to Virginia, who's calling us from Dallas, listens on KWRD. Hello, Virginia. How can we help you today?
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. My unbelieving husband left and filed for divorce. We've been married 38 years and dated for 5 additional years. I lived with my family of origin, then I moved into our home. Our divorce, if it's it's an uncontested divorce and everything goes to plan, it'll be final on the 3rd of December. We have one grown daughter who lives nearby with her family, and she is supportive, but she has a newborn, so her hands are full. I am on disability with a lot of appointments, just etc. I have a supportive church, friends, but no family who are nearby. I go to a divorce care support group, and the counselor last night wants me to decouple from him. And because he always wants to share meals with me, and I'm stopping that. And also, he comes to our home and he mows the lawn or anything that needs to be taken care of. My question is, I don't know how to be me now because he's been in my life more than he's been out of it. And there's just a lot on my plate. A lot. We live in how many bedrooms? 1, 2, 3, 4 bedroom, 3 bath home. Way too big, and it's way too costly.
Virginia, you don't know how yet because you're still not separated. Like you're still enmeshed in
We're
the
separated.
relationship. Oh, you are?
Yeah, well, no, we're separated. He left. He left mid-July. So he's gone as far as being out of the home physically.
Okay. But you're still connecting on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's where we'll start when we you can hear the music. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll come back.
Thank you.
It's a reminder that divorce is never easy or quick. And there is the aftermath that comes, the healing process. And that's why we're offering tonight's webinar, Moving Forward, Hope After Divorce. It's very, it's very helpful to know that there is life after divorce. And you can join us tonight and get all the information at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We'll be right back.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Dallas, Texas, November 7th through the 9th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
You know, I'm so thankful because you know why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And you know one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. We are talking with Virginia, who is in the middle of a divorce of a marriage of over 30 years and just the complications that go with it. Alice, where do you want to begin?
Well, Virginia, I just want to verify. It seems like you're pretty clear that although you may rely on your ex-husband's help, you don't think it's healthy for you and you want to distance yourself from him further. Is that right?
Yes, and it has been pointed out to me how unhealthy it is.
And is he trying to reconcile, and is he in recovery and is actually trying to restore the marriage by spending all this time with you?
I don't know. I think, well, his number one demand, or I should say request, but it's a demand, I cannot. Because of my disability, I cannot.
What's his number one demand?
Sex.
Oh, he doesn't want to be married to you, but he wants to have some of the benefits of, as if you were married.
Well, no. He says, if I can provide him that, then we can get back together. But honestly, there's so much peace in my household that he's gone because of his lifestyle, as in the language and the shows he watches. You know, he emotionally and verbally abused me. He never struck me, but I honestly believe that even though I don't have broken, I still am broken inside.
Mm-hmm. harsh words are so destructive, and those wounds do stay even past the point of bruises healing. So there are scars on your body, internal scars. And he has not become a humble man about that. And as far as you know, he's not getting help to change his verbal mistreatment of you.
No, he's refused to go to counseling.
And does he continue to mistreat you?
No, because when I found my voice, he knew there was going to be a change in the current. And I think he had a hard time realizing, oh boy, this is a new equilibrium. I got to, be mindful of what I say.
So he's acting nice, at least on the surface. When you think of telling him, I need more space, I can't see you so frequently, or even a more extreme statement of, I need to not have contact with you for the next 3 months, 6 months. I need to process our divorce, the fact that you left. What happens to you inside right now when you imagine saying some of those things to him?
Mixed emotions. I would be so relieved because I would have that pressure off. However, I do still really love the man, and I think I always will, but not in the husband-wife capacity.
And are you willing to take good enough care of yourself by asking for more space from him?
Yes.
And which level do you think
am.
you need? How extreme do you need the space to be?
I mean, since our divorce is going to be final on the 3rd, probably 6 months. I mean, because we're already in October.
So I'd have you plan for this in a couple different ways. You may need to wean off of his help, especially with your disability. Yeah. So there are things around the house you can't do. So think about who you will replace him with to get that help. And do you need to hire help? Do you need to get men from the church? So consider that first. And then if it's difficult for you to tell him, I need 6 months of no contact, and it's tough for you to stick with that because you'll miss him too, you'll need you'll need an accountability group that will help encourage and give you the strength to have the conversation and then to stick by it. And so if you don't have those kind of women that you can connect with, getting into one of our New Life recovery groups or with one of our New Life counselors who can be that accountability person for you, you'll need to set those things in place before you have this conversation. Otherwise, it'll probably be an empty threat. And you'll find yourself needing him, missing him, and just going back to him again after you have the conversation. And empty threats, they remove any respect that he might have for your words, and it puts you in a dangerous position. So prepare and decide if and when you're ready to have that conversation and then to stand by what you're asking of him.
Virginia, I'm glad that you're in the divorce care group because that can be one of those accountability sources. And you said that the leader had given you that instruction that you need to separate. I'm going to give you a short step in that direction. I don't know how often you're talking to him, whether it's texting or phone calls or whatever. I want you to silence the notifications on your phone for him and decide when you are going to connect with him. Many times in our modern culture, I know that makes me sound 5 million years old, but in our modern culture, we respond to every beep, bing, ring, that it's like an alarm. And many times we need to know that we have the power to shut down those notifications and decide when we will respond to the person. So in this situation, it's going to calm down that voice in your head. And then you can consider what Alice is talking about, how long that's going to be. But you need a small shift in that direction, Virginia, before you make a big leap. And then there's going to be some hard decisions that you're going to have to make about where you're living and how the future looks for you. Not because it's a crisis, but it's wisdom. And you need to have good input from people who you trust and to clear out all of the negativity that you're getting in this relationship. Now, here's the thing. We know that you have feelings for him because you married him. You loved him all those years. This wasn't what you hoped for. And so there's grieving that will become part of this process as well. I'm going to give you a free registration to our Moving Forward Hope After Divorce intensive or webinar tonight. It's tonight. and you can join and get some good steps forward for your new life. We'll be back after this.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. I am so grateful for people who believe in New Life Ministries and the hope and the help that it offers so many people. We had some friends of the ministry who believe in the ministry so much that they have begun a matching gift. They seeded the matching gift at $475,000. And so every gift that you give will be doubled. This is the time, if you've never given before, and even if you've given before, now is the time to expand that gift. Every dollar will be doubled up to that $475. We want your help because we're helping so many people. And so if you haven't given, today's the day. You can give by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. You can go to newlife.com and click on the word donate. You can also text the letters NLM to 28950. You know, generosity is an antidepressant. It's proven. And so maybe today is the day that you give yourself a lift by giving to New Life. It makes a difference, and we are grateful for every dollar that we get, and we stretch it as far as it can so that we can continue to offer help and hope to so many people. We're going to go back to the calls, and we are going to talk with Corey, who's calling us from Dallas. It's his first time calling. Thank you, Corey, and we're so grateful that you called. It's your first time.
Thank you, ma'am. I was listening to your program, and I hear the heartache, and I just wanted to share my story real quick, if that's okay.
Okay.
So, super long story made short. My wife and I had a lot of issues, a lot of alcohol, a lot of everything. I was a narcissist, a violent marriage. We had 5 kids. Make a long story short, I woke up the day after Thanksgiving in 2019, and the Lord told me instantly to fast. I was like, fast? I've never done that, God. How am I going to do that? I got to eat. And he just tugged on my heart for about 3 hours that day, and I ignored it, started mowing the yard. And by the end of the day, I was kicked out of my house. And my wife, a few months later, filed for divorce, and nobody was talking to me. And a lot of issues I had caused naturally, and I was the center of a lot of things. I took responsibility for that. But by the following March, I received the divorce papers. It was devastating. I was depressed. You know, you're lost. Your emotions are in a muck. I just started a new job that was highly stressful, and I did not like it. And I was just, it was just heart-wrenching is what it is. My children wouldn't talk to me. I missed our first 2 grandchildren being born. Nobody would allow me anywhere. I was totally cut off. So I got fired from my job when COVID happened, which was a blessing in disguise. It took me a 3-month break. And by the following October of 2020, I went back to work, and I was like, Lord, I don't feel you. I need you. Why? He said, your heart is too hard. You need to fast. And let me tell you something without crying. I started fasting that day. I did a 21-day Daniel-type fast, and by the 3rd day of the fast, my wife called me out of the blue, who I hadn't talked to in almost a year. We talked for 3 hours. By the 4th day, my children started calling me. And you won't believe the healing that took place. There was infidelity on both parts. There was so much involved. It's not even funny. And God healed every bit of it. By the following year, we were united. We just celebrated our 28th anniversary last August.
Awesome.
There's hope.
Awesome.
There's always
There
hope.
is hope.
Marriage is forever. And when God says we're one flesh, he's right. That gut-wrenching feeling is the other piece of your flesh being torn from you. I'm not saying divorce is always the answer. For some people, it has to be the answer, and I understand that. But it's not always the perfect answer.
Right.
But there is
Well,
hope.
Corey, thank you for sharing your journey, and just that is so true. Sometimes we just have to do the work and listen to what God has provided. We're grateful for your call, Corey, and we're going to send you a copy of How We Love, because I think that'll help you and your wife as you continue on this marriage that has been reborn. We love stories like that. We're going to go back to the calls, and we're going to talk with Raj, who's calling us from Philadelphia, watches us on YouTube. Hello, Raj. Thanks for calling today. How can we help you?
Hi, Becky. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking my call. I have really run into a upside-down life right now. My wife had breast cancer, and she has separated from me and told me that it's my fault. I caused that. I guess I suppose from stress and everything else, which in turn I tell her that I wish I had the cancer, not you. And she did that and blames me for many, many things. And so she has separated, obviously, I said, and she convinced me to sell the house and 401k and everything, put it in her name. And that time she was very distraught. So she said, my family, her father did that for her mother, and you have never done anything for me, so can you do it for me? And she was very crying and everything else. So I said, oh, you know what, if it means a lot to you, I'll do it for you. And I did that. And now it's been 2 years, and it seems like almost we don't have any contact, barely talks to me. And my head is just running amok and trying to figure out whether I should continue in this marriage. We are Christians. I'm ashamed to say I'm Christian. As much as things are going upside down, my faith has been shaken to the core. And
that's understandable.
Whether I want to continue with her, or should I even, everybody's telling me, write it off. And the Bible tells me not to do that.
Right. Well, Raj, what was the big, that sounds like she had drawn a line in the sand. What, if I was talking to her, what would she tell me that you did or didn't do?
So, big thing I have from her, she kept insisting that I was having an affair, and I said, there is no one in my life. And somehow or another, I came home and said to this, I've worked at a DMV, and so there's a supervisor on top above me, and so she thought I was having a relationship with her, and I said, no, I never did, I never will, and she took it for that extreme and kept blaming me for that. And I kept saying, no, I didn't.
So,
I never have.
Raj, that was a false accusation against you. Has there been any problematic behavior on your part that might have added to your wife's stance against you? Any legitimate hurt caused by you, even if it was unintentional?
I'm sorry, I'm missing your point.
Your wife accused you of being unfaithful, but it's not true. You haven't been unfaithful. But you're an imperfect man, and we're all imperfect. What do you know is a character flaw on your part that hurt the marriage over time?
Well, so the other things that I've gone through, I'm from India, and so a lot of the things that I've gone through, her issue has been that I take care of my mother and sister. My mother has passed away. My sister is still there. They're getting up in age, and so I need to kind of still be in contact with them, but she's always been upset that I think more of them, and I'm not putting her a priority in life. And I say, well, they barely call me on my birthdays, and she gets really wound up about it. And I keep telling her that, you are a priority. I'm living with you, and everything I do is 100%. So I just recently talked to my sister, and she just visited me about barely 6 months ago after 30-some years.
So, Raj, your wife's behavior is very confusing because it's hard to identify any outright way you have hurt her, but she takes offense at things you do that might be innocent or even good, caring for your mother, caring for your sister. Does your wife come from a chaotic background? Did she have a lot of difficulty in her family of origin?
I don't wish on her, but if I can put a finger on it, and there's nothing I can touch in her direction, because I visited her family, and they are well off, and they have everything, and my brain is just going a million miles an hour. What can I do? How can I fix
Raj,
this? Do I fix this?
Raj, listen,
Yes.
listen. We're going to take a break. You can hear the music. I want you to take a couple of deep breaths. This is overwhelming, and it sounds like we may be the first people that you've really talked to about this, and it can be so hard to clarify what needs to be the next step. I want to clarify, is your wife also from India?
No, she's from Korea.
Okay. We'll be right back after this break, okay, and we're going to get you some help, Raj. This is hard. We hear your pain, and marriage can be a really great thing, and it can be really hard, and especially if she's battling some illness. We will be right back after this call.
I was stuck. I was so stuck. 27 years married. My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we can still be restored. We are not stuck because someone else made a decision. That God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives. Our wellness does not hinge on another person's decision.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Washington, D.C. November 7th to the 9th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
You guys helped me figure out what was going on.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back, and we've been having a conversation with Raj, who's heartbroken. His marriage has been in a separation for 2 years. His wife is battling breast cancer, and just he really is overwhelmed with where to go next. Alice, let's help Raj get some help here.
Raj, Becky had guessed that we might be the first people you're really talking with about this. Are you generally isolated and not having many people to let your guard down with, tell your story to?
Pretty much, yes, you guys are. And I've been to church, so I've asked for, I'm sorry, but I've asked for help, but everybody seems to say, okay, go get, go see a lawyer, go see,
And you're not,
and,
Raj, you're not ready for that step yet. You have grief that I don't even think has been tapped fully, and you may be grieving on your own, but I don't think you've grieved in the presence of caring people enough. And I think you're feeling bewildered. You don't know why this has happened, and you're not even entirely sure what to do, but you're hesitant to pursue divorce, in part because you want to follow God's will for you, and you're not certain that divorce is the next step to take. And so, Raj, I want to get you connected with one of the counselors in our network who has expertise in how to handle a situation of this complexity with this long period of separation. Because what tends to work in situations like this is for you, Raj, to evaluate what happened, to come to some answers about who's had what part in the marriage coming to this place, and then what is possible now. And so if you can get solid footing with the help of one of our counselors and get more clarity about where God is leading you and what you want, going to your wife with better preparation of what you hope for and what you might invite her into after you've done some of your individual work. We want to get you to a place of having some assertiveness and strength about what you want from her and what you're willing to do for the sake of your marriage. Okay, that resonates with you.
It is hard for me to 34 years of marriage, and it hasn't been a perfect marriage again. And I care for her, and obviously she's going through this 2 years of chemo, and she didn't even tell me she was going for surgery as much as we lived in the same house together, and she went and had the surgery, and she said, I don't trust you, I don't believe you, and even now she said, you didn't even care, you didn't even cry for me when I told you I had cancer and everything. So
Raj, here's the thing though, when marriages get to the point where they're so far apart that she would be going through something like this and you wouldn't be inquiring, there are many things that are happening that are not being paid attention to. And so some of the sorrow that you have right now is because of missing something that she is pretty determined that you should have known. And like Alice said, when you talk to a therapist, you're going to be able to sort this out so that even your wife could be able to hear what you've recognized or what you identified. The other part of this too is I would encourage you, we're going to get you connected with a therapist, but I also want you to get connected back to her. Even if you're not talking to her, Raj, you could send her a get well card or just notes about just that encouragement. Oh, good. See, I love that.
I send scriptures. I send her, a memory. I was stationed in Germany, so I sent her pictures when we visited on the 25th anniversary. And so, all those things kind of fly by, no answer, sometimes just one smile or emoji or something.
So, Raj, we want to help you refine how you're communicating with her, because she probably needs to hear things like, I'm realizing I didn't ask you enough questions. You don't feel safe with me, and I'm working in individual therapy on becoming a safer man and being more actively curious. She needs to hear about the work that you're doing on yourself versus the nice things, the scripture, the memories, but the pain is too deep to just be treated by a scripture text. And a therapist can help you strategize. What should I be saying to my wife now? Because this is in serious emergency status. How do I handle that? And we'll be able to walk you through that with a good therapist.
Right. And I want you to stay connected with your church family too. Whenever we're in a situation like this where it's so overwhelming and it's been such a long time, we can feel like we're a lot for people, and then people don't know what to do with it. We just talked about this on yesterday's show on how do we care for others in the church. So I want to encourage you, Raj, we're going to get you connected with a therapist, and we'll be praying for this family because there's a lot going on there. We're going to go to, we got just a little bit of time, and I want to go to the call, and I think it's Jordan. Is that right, Alice?
It is calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's listening on Sirius XM.
Yes, Jordan, we just have a few minutes, but we wanted to get to your call. How can we help you today?
Yeah, I struggle with intimacy and always have in the marriage. It's not that I don't do what I should be doing, but I never initiate. And if it doesn't happen when he wants it or how he wants it, I get the silent treatment. And this has been going on for like 30 some years. Okay. And the silent treatment could last for like a week.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, Jordan.
I don't even realize it. And now I always feel like it's my fault. I keep thinking, what do I need to do? How do I need to be better? I read. I am going to counseling. And this last time, I didn't even know until like maybe the third day something's going on, and I kept asking. And now I'm at the point, after he's done being mad, he wants something. And I give in because I'm an avoider, I'm a pleaser. And I'm like, do I need to set boundaries and say this is enough? Or do I need to, like, do a separation?
Jordan, I think there's got to be a lot more conversations between the two of you. You're going to need help with this. This isn't something that, because there's a dynamic that's been in play for a long time. And it's, you could draw a boundary, but that's not going to get you closer to understanding what's happening. And I would encourage you guys to come and join us at the Intimacy in Marriage. But here's, if you're reading, it sounds like you've read How We Love. Is that true, Jordan?
Yes, and we just attended that.
Okay. Well, have you continued to do some support with a counselor after the intensive?
No, that would just happen like maybe less than a month.
Okay. All right. Alice, just these few minutes,
Jordan,
few seconds.
I want you to practice with your individual therapist, saying things to your husband like, can we talk about the way we react when we're hurt? Because I don't like the times of silence between us, and I want to figure out how we can manage that better. I don't know how willing your husband would be, but I think what you can work on with your individual therapist is how to be assertive, to come out of that avoidance, to address these hurts faster, and to look, it's good that you're looking at your part, but we want to try to invite your husband to look at his. I think he has some emotional brokenness and immaturity, and his coping he knows to do is to withdraw and shut down. If he's willing, he could sure get better equipped than that, and it would work through the pain a lot faster. So work on making that invitation with your therapist.
And we will get you connected with the help. And we'll be praying for you, Jordan. This is hard, but there is hope. We know that we can figure things out, but it can be tough at times. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, listeners. Remember, we have a matching gift. Every dollar will be doubled. You can give today at newlife.com. or 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.